When I was 17 years old and a senior in high school, my boyfriend talked me into having an abortion. I agreed after debating and thinking about it and just trying to take the pros and cons, and decided to give in and had the abortion. I really didn't think I was affected. And 19 years later, I was involved in a Forgiven and Set Free class, and God started revealing to me all the areas of my life that I had been affected by my choice of abortion. I don't know if it was the fourth or fifth class. I was driving home and I just started crying. Tears just started being released, and God was just revealing to me all the areas of my life that had been impacted by that decision. From my marriage to my children to my relationship with my family. I wasn't the same person I was. And just going through the class, it just helped me. God just helped me to see so many things that I never thought were a part of the abortion, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. But after coming through with God and just naming my child and having a memorial service brought that like a closure, just a weight lifted off. Now that I've been through my healing process, I've actually started facilitating and co-facilitating Forgiven and Set Free 3 years now. It's a wonderful experience seeing these women be set free from abortion, and seeing them go out and share their testimonies and getting tattoos with their babies' names, and just the different things that the women will do to acknowledge their babies that are lost. And I love it, and I will continue to facilitate these classes as long as God wants me to.
When I walked into Hands of Hope, the first time, I just really wanted to confirm that I was pregnant again. I never believed in abortion, but I did think of it when I got pregnant. I did think of, oh my God, like, you know, I just came to Tucson for the summer trying to see if I was gonna move back here when I graduated nursing school, see if this relationship was even gonna work. So much has happened from the beginning of me finding out I was pregnant. I was pregnant, saw the heartbeat, got engaged on my birthday, June 19th, told his family, told my family. I told my father, he was not very happy with me. He said, you know, how are you gonna support a child? You have no job, you have school to finish, you have to go back to New York, you know, you haven't been committed to anything, and you don't have a man, you don't have a husband, you know. So he wanted me to get an abortion. He told me to get an abortion, but I didn't get an abortion. I ended up having a beautiful child. My marriage is successful, and I became a nurse. So for all the girls who think they can't do things or they feel too overwhelmed, I just want to let them know that there is hope and you can do it. You need to find your support, which you can find at Hands of Hope. The ladies there are beautiful, they're spiritual, they will pray for you, they will make sure that you feel comfortable. They're so welcoming with the way they talk to you. Any problems you have, you could talk to them about it. So it was God sent that I found the ladies at Hands of Hope, because they really made me feel good, and I'm so happy I have them.
I found out I was pregnant around Thanksgiving of last year. I had thought I had a miscarriage, and around March I had felt some movement, so I set an appointment at Hands of Hope, and I found out that I was still pregnant, and I was devastated that I was pregnant because the father was not a very good father. So I was thinking about getting an abortion, and I didn't go back to Hands of Hope for a while, but then I decided to keep going to see my options. The people at Hands of Hope helped me decide to keep the child because it was on-hand support with diapers and clothing and the whole 9 yards. The first person I met at Hands of Hope was Sarah, and she seems so sweet and kind. She's amazing, and I want her to be my son's godmother. So I got free prenatal care with Dr. Graziano, and he was such an inspiration. He was so sweet, kind, caring, and I actually named my son after him. My son's name is Alexander Graziano Valdez. At Hands of Hope, they prayed for me when I was going through my ultrasounds. Dr. Graziano was there for me, and I got invited to go to church, so I'm thinking about going when Sarah gets back. If it wasn't for the people at Hands of Hope, I probably wouldn't have my child as of this day today. Because of them, I have my child.
I grew up in a Christian family my entire life, and when I was 15, I found out that I was pregnant, and then everything changed. I was still planning on terminating the pregnancy until my mom took me to Hands of Hope, and we talked with one of the client advocates there, and she shared the gospel with me. She prayed for me. She told me that I was really worried about not being able to go to heaven because I was planning on killing a baby, and I knew what it was, but I lied to myself because I was scared. And she told me that even though God would forgive me, I probably wouldn't forgive myself, and I knew that. And so she gave me the sonogram, and she was so tiny. She looked like a peanut with 4 little arms and legs, and she was moving. And so little, like, to capture so much movement when there's so little is rare anyways. And it was like God telling me, showing me that this really is a baby. You can't lie to yourself anymore. Second semester of sophomore year, we had Sophia, and she's like the best thing that has ever happened to our life. And now she's 18 months old, and my family's dynamic is just better all the way around. After I went to Hands of Hope, I knew that God had to be a part of my life and that I had to follow His will. And so we started going to church so that I could listen to what God was trying to tell me and hear everything that He was showing me the way and everything. So it brought me a lot closer in a relationship with Him. And since I stayed in school, I'm qualified to do an internship because I'm involved in a medical assisting program at Endrada. Since I had to do an internship, I decided that I wanted to be at Hands of Hope because they changed my life, and I wanted to be a part of that ministry and change somebody else's life or brighten somebody's day the way they did. And I help take blood pressures and do weights, and I welcome all of the wonderful ladies that are there pregnant with their babies. And I get to help with the doctors. I get to help Dr. Beal and Dr. Graziano, and they're both awesome. So if I had a friend that was considering abortion or terminating their pregnancy, I would definitely send them to Hands of Hope because I know how much they can change somebody's life. And I know that they have great client advocates there that help guide women through their decision-making process. And the ultrasounds is the best thing that they can do for girls who are thinking about abortion. If my mom hadn't told me about Hands of Hope, then I wouldn't have known about it, and I probably would have just Googled abortion clinics and gone wherever it took me. And then everything could have been different. I couldn't have Sophia. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my mom to take me here, and if I didn't have Hands of Hope to support me through my entire pregnancy.